Hello and welcome to TFT Worlds, Day 2, Game number 2. Enjoy.
Of that last game, first place finish off a 94 streak, technically. From 2-2 all the way into stage 4, into late game specialist, into 6-game win streak on like 70 HP?
Yeah, I want to stamp there, augments. Weaker augments, stronger late game.
Yeah.
It seems like it would often be the opposite, but the better your augments are, the more powerful your board is. Do you need to get to 9 in order to win a game at that spot? That's a big thing to look out for. Very often, if you're wondering, why do I keep getting knocked out of these spots? It might be due to just augment power.
Absolutely. So take a lesson. Maybe next academy, we're going to throw you over there. Admirable. You can give us
Take
some
the best
lessons
augment.
on
Thumbs
how
up.
to win. Just win 5 hat. But for now, it is going to be the game start. Of course, players are currently picking up some direction from these first stores. And it seems like there is a little bit of everything on Rain's board for right now.
Yeah, she's just keeping her options open. She's got Lagoon potential. Ooh.
Yeah, time there, being a tough little hit. Getting word that Namzi is on Mage, so I'm sorry, Niberia, not.
Okay,
King here.
I'll take Namzi Mage though.
Oh,
It is
okay.
technically playable.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we take Namzi Mage, and I give you one more. Mirage is going to be Pirates. So
Yarr.
that's very interesting. Thank you for that.
I was
love
gonna
that.
do the same thing, but I was like,
Can you
nah.
do it again?
Arr.
Okay, perfect. So I'm
Here
here
be
with
pirates.
the 2 Pirates that we're probably going to see in-game as well, just, to get that econ rolling. And with Mirage in-game, it's usually always a little bit of more economy-directed tempo.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with Silver here. So again, a little bit of a weaker spot. This is great for economy-focused playstyle. For Rainplosion here, the items not looking so hot. Belt, cloak, the cloak tier cloak, and a glove. There's nothing that you want to slam in this early game. So I expect Rainplosion to be taking a little bit of a lower angle, preserving the items, and trying to construct something more ideal. Again, weaker augments, more time.
Looking over here at the guild heart here for Bentona's potential angle rather.
Angel.
Oh, but I'm looking on Rain's board. We already know about the Namzi Mage. all right?
Yes.
I also saw a Mage Heart, and that is exactly
Oh.
what she picked up. So we could be seeing an early Pirates for Econ holding the Yone there into a little late game Namzi Mage action.
We did see Rainplosion go for a Lilia reroll in regionals.
I would
that-
also take that.
The spot
Did
was
that go well?
it,
Because I think it...
the rest of the lobby was super stacked.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Here's
that's
in
how
come the
that's how we're
Here's-
telling the story
Here's the
now.
problem with the Lilia reroll is you need everything to be perfect. And when I say
Yeah.
everything, I mean like literally everything. You need the rest of the lobby to be kind of like low-key, low power, and you need to have perfect items through and through. You have to find that Lilia 3 on time, or otherwise just everything crumbles down.
I believe this is the point where we say shout out to Kent. We love Lilia. But yeah, I feel like she falls off a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that players really know how to play this patch, it is going to be incredibly hard to really make it into late game, to make it into first, second, third place with that Lilia. I can see a fourth. I think everything else is going to be very dependent on basically having a lot of luck.
Yeah, if you go for Lilia reroll, it is inherently like you're accepting 4th place.
Hey, Nathan, what's up with Shapeshifter Heart there for Bricks?
I'm
Are you as confused as I am?
I am quite interested. I do know that you get a lot of health from having 4 shapeshifters in play. Like it is a massive amount, and now you don't have to have 4 in play. You just have to have 3 of them. It's an augment that I have very rarely seen, but I will admit when I've seen it online, it looks pretty jacked.
Okay, interestingly enough, he is already on the Jades. We are in 2-2, and his board is looking fairly well with that Shapeshifter Heart enabling a little bit of extra HP to chew through. I know that you're in a little bit of the Jade corner. I know we're all wearing green today, so I feel like I'm obligated to say this. So do you think this could be an angle for going into the Jades?
100%. Like, the problem with Vertical Jade is that it's not a very high cap board if you stay in, like, 7 Jade. You can start out with a Jade start like this, and we've seen a lot of the Chinese players, Shunga and Huanmie especially, go for that Vertical Jade angle.
Whoa!
If you find a Jace
Whoa!
at 2-3, it's a pretty good angle to go for,
Wow.
turns out.
I mean, Jace is just a good unit in general. You don't even have to have shapeshifters.
And in Italy.
Yeah, just go for it.
So here's another thing. There was the last point I wanted to highlight with this is that just because you have a shapeshifter heart, it doesn't mean you have to commit to shapeshifter. This could
Yeah.
very much be just a tempo style augment that you actually like mostly abandoned later on, you'll have like a Jason play for just the shapeshifter buff on this one unit. That is totally okay. It's not like a strong augment spot that you're abandoning. It's not like you took a prismatic augment and abandoned that later on. This is a silver augment. You know, I'm not too worried about it right here, right now.
But I also think you can, from this angle, pop in a Shyvana late game, plus the Gnar, plus the Jace.
Plus a Jace 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something that we are seeing a lot, you know, everybody knows Siphon, right? The Jade, Siphon comp, very, very common. But something players are angling for when their boards are a little bit more AP heavy, or they have a setup like this where you have the shapeshifters in play due to an augment, then that's very interesting to just replace the Siphon with a Shyvana.
For that as we go into the later stages of the game. First carousel coming up here. Rain's board is going to be my point of focus here because I want to see some mages.
Mages?
I was hoping.
There's a spatula sitting there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, whoop.
Takes
the tier. Safety protocol.
But Beantum picks it up.
Okay, thank you, Bintum.
Yeah, I'd like to get a look at what Beantum is up to here. You know, with a tier on your bench, I am kind of getting the vibe of mages in this one. They took a Band of Thieves as their first augment, so again, no commitment anywhere going into this. And again, we're on silver augments to start with, so it's a little bit harder to have that purely identified take that you're going to go for in a spot like this. So Spatula might not even need to be used right now, and you might not even be going this angle, but it does benefit a lot of spots pretty well. You know, when you get a free mage kind of hanging out, it's much easier to get that buff for utility.
Yeah, we've been looking, especially across this tournament and previous ones, Astral Reroll with a Mage Varus has been incredibly strong.
Yeah.
So if Bintum wants to stick on this, we've already heard it talked several times about how much Korea as a region has been Astral appreciators, I'll say.
Yeah.
It goes for that reroll comp so much. So just watch that angle as the game goes later.
The Astral sommeliers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know exactly what taste it's from and how to build out those items.
It has a cosmic body. That's a joke for all of the wine enjoyers in the audience.
Okay.
Another loss here?
I'm just, yeah, he definitely goes for the loss. Of course, now with 4 losses, you want to keep on losing. Maybe not too much, but definitely the angle for Beantum to go into that loss streak, something we see a lot from Korea. But you're pointing it out, Nathan, there was a loss that wasn't so favorable.
Yeah, and so is this one right here for Konda. Just a big loss to snap the 3 streak that they had going there. So still a strong economy that they had built out, but not the ideal spot. And for Bricks again is going to need some big finishes.
Oh my
in
God,
order to
guys!
close this one out. So
he's streaking with 4 shapeshifter.
yeah,
I'm shocked.
It's definitely not much of a
So
surprise.
surprising.
I mean, Gnar is just a strong early game unit as well. But
He found Jace.
Yeah, the Jace as well. Like, everything lines up pretty well for Bricks here, except the fact it's like, what do you do with this later on? Again, I think it's likely to be just a 2 shapeshifter thing. Jace is played by itself, but you know, a lot of options still open here for Bricks. But again, they're going to have to be capping boards. You're not looking for just strong top 4s. You're looking for strong top 2s.
Something that we are seeing on the other side of the board is, of course, Rainplosion. We saw the Mage Heart being picked up very early. She is also on the Astral trend here, and if that is supposed to go into Astral reroll later on, I fear for the 2 players that are currently looking at that.
Yeah. Big rerolls when they're contested are much harder to find on time, and that is a major holding hands kind of spot where it's like a race to the bottom almost at that one. It's like you really don't want to be going 8th and 7th at this point in the day.
I feel like you can just splash in a little mage. It's fallen out of favor a lot, but like Zoe as a unit is so incredibly powerful, especially in the late game. So we'll see where these players go. 100 streak coming in for Bricks, 96 streak for Dasic, meaning the only loss he took was at 2-1.
Yeah, and we are seeing the comps on the right side, and of course we are in 2-7, so everything is going to look fairly similar in these overalls. We are seeing some Lagoons for Here We Go has found the Kaisa. That could be interesting to look at.
Second belt here. I'm getting some pretty heavy Seraphine Graves vibes.
Yeah.
Morello's.
Morello right there, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of, I mean, Dasic's got a lot of options that are open here, and you do still have that Shimmer Scale hanging out to really hoping a Jax shows up at this point.
This feels like it echoes his last game to me, where he also had an early game that was just like full of options and committed to one a little bit into stage 3. We're going to be seeing a 3-1 roll down, actually.
Interesting. So spends a lot of gold still, of course, has him on the
Pass
bench,
the
finds a
Rakans.
Yone, doesn't want it, does find the Rakan.
Passing on Siphon as well, it seems, for the time being.
Okay,
Maybe he's
so-
just holding it.
Kind of the vibe I'm getting here is that Dasik is recognizing, hey, I need some big finishes. We can't commit to like a Seraphine Graves.
Yeah.
We need way bigger finishes than that. So this is looking like a tempo into Dragons style of thing where he's like, okay, let's keep this win streak going. We're on 4. Let's get this to 5. Let's win streak throughout stage 3 and then have that big economy to enable that step to level 9.
Very good read on his position and also this lobby to ensure that he can keep the streak going. I would suspect he picks up that Siphon very late just to signalize that that's not something he has right now, or he's just going to keep it and go for the econ.
Big loss streak from Rainplosion right now, down to 51 health on the 6 loss streak. Something here has to be supplemented pretty quickly, but again, comfortable from playing from that spot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, coming into this, she was like, I'm going to change up my playstyle. But this is a tried and true one she knows well. As the augments come out here, Dasik given, frankly, some pretty good options.
Cybernetic Uplink, I think, is one of the best ones that you can find if you're going to be chasing down the late game AP in a spot like this.
I agree. However, every time I see Portable Forge on a player's augment choice list, it always feels like they're attracted to it magnetically. So I'm a little worried right now for Dasik. I know he's going to take his time and just figure out which is the best for his situation. So I'm pretty sure it's going to go into the direction of Cybernetic, as everybody else has picked. Of course, we're just waiting on Dasik to pull through with this one.
For the Forge, I want to give a shout out to Orn.
Yeah, Orin.
Thanks.
And it's going to be the Cybernetics.
All right.
Ooh, Trade Sector.
Trade Sector with Cybernetic Uplink. This could go two ways. One of the more common ones, obviously, would be going towards that Kai'Sa reroll. But, I mean, Zeke's plus Uplink is going to look really good for Seraphine Graves.
I just noticed that the tome's sitting on the bench here. That's from
Exactly.
Crux.
He got that
Oh.
from the Crux. So really interesting when he's going to pop that one. Of course, on the left side, you also see what the Trade Sector does, in case you're not familiar with that one. So after each shop, there is going to be a free refresh. After each round is going to be free shop refresh. That way around.
Here we go. Also got a really early Jace this game. It seems like it's just going around.
I mean, the more the merrier,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I wouldn't complain about a Jace this early.
Ooh. Very close. That Vladimir was putting in a ton of work.
Good loss, good loss.
Yeah.
So when are we expecting, here we go, to pop that tome?
This is a good question. It kind of depends on how you want to tailor this out.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
Guild Zaya.
Oh, hey, yes, this is actually like really strong from the Zaya angle, but you do have a Zeke's as well to maybe chase down the Dark Flight angle here. I do think that the guild is inherently going to be stronger. Something we've seen from Zaya in this one, I was looking over the data last night that Mindful One had put together, and the Zaya compositions were doing super strong with one of two things. Number one, a strong augment to supplement Swift Shot, like a Swift Shot emblem, for instance, a guild emblem, or a 3-star Hecarim. Outside of that, they were tending to finish in the bottom 4.
Let me ask, how many 3-star Hecarims were there?
There was one.
Okay,
but,
thank you.
Yeah,
But it did really well.
the point to highlight there is that you need something very powerful, and Swift Shot enhancement or guild enhancement was a major factor when I was looking at those data points.
We saw this in the EMEA as well. Dasik, when he goes for those angles, he's always going to be going for something supplemental, either fully itemized Shyvana. Zaya 3 was the one that put him over the edge last championship. And I think that's going to be something like we're seeing here from Here We Go.
Rain broke her losing streak, so I want to check in there and see what's going on after this carousel, because I'm very interested to see what is up with that. She needs to keep on winning from here on out. We see she has 2 Grit Gloves and a tier on board.
That was a
gets
race to the rod.
yoinked. The rod.
I'm looking at Brick still on a 100 win streak.
Yeah.
With double bow hanging out on the bench. Like, you have so much damage that is potential there. I'm really curious if Brix has an actual direction right now, or if they're just playing strong tempo and picking up wins because of it.
Level 7, 100 HP. Knowing Bricks, this is either going to be full direction already or just...
Oh, boy.
All right. We got the Nomsy Mage. I'm happy. Officially, I'm good with this game. You guys can finish it from here.
Yeah,
right?
okay, thank you, Matt. I'm going to see you later. But yeah, this is what spot we're in. We have 1 Lilia 2. We have 1 Lilia copy on the bench. Not necessarily the best Lilia amount of right now, but we have the 7 mages going due to the hard mage augment coming through, and the Astrals are kind of rolling as well.
Yeah, this is, I think, a great spot to take when someone's in contention for that Lux spot as well. Someone's going to be picking those up and kind of contesting for them. Instead of trying to focus on level 6 and get out a 3-star Lux, go on to the Namzi instead. Build out a strong level 7 board and start putting together a win streak. When you're at low HP, you're going to need a stronger board to stabilize with. I think this is a fantastic call from Rain in a spot like this.
Yeah, now we're going to see against Here We Go's board. The guild, Kaisa, not going to be doing too hot. Also, our producer shooed me back on stage. He wasn't happy.
Yeah, Niberia was really willing to just go take a back seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to
we're
watch
happy to have you back. Somebody else that is probably happy is Fly, as he found some more shimmers, unlocking a lot of econ, we heard. So that could be interesting. Here we are over on the bar, 5 shimmer scales unlocked.
2 players going up to level 7 on 3-6. This is really off the path typically, but this is something that we have seen highlighted by a lot of players as we come out with this, is that you're going to have to take some different angles at times. For YGQF here, it feels like that this level isn't for a win streak, it's to just pad the loss that you're going to take here.
Guys, the most blurst of augments has appeared on our board. It's going to be last stand here for Fly.
I don't make a secret of my feelings towards that augment. So to me, this is a tragedy. I have seen players win with it. I'm not going to say that it's automatically bad, but I really don't like when this one comes out.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
How dare thee.
Yeah.
This is my favorite
Pulling out
game.
the
Really?
You either super hard flex and you win without it activating, or it is like the miraculous comeback that ends up
Is
happening.
it though?
Or they lose to 1 HP and then lose the very next round.
We
Which
don't typically have like novels or movies about that sort of spot. So,
Oh, it's very
that's not apparent to me.
Oh, okay. Maybe in EMEA we've been just branded with this. The drama comes around, but to me this augment always screams ah, and that's what it's going to do for the rest of this set.
See,
But
5 shimmer scale is diamond hands is what gets offered here at the end. This is a big boost of gold, and
Yeah.
you get that champion duplicator here. So for YGQF, despite the fact that they're at such a low health total, if they can get something rolling here and stabilize this board, you're going to pick up that diamond hands, and you have a strong item count to be able to produce something later on. I'm really looking forward to seeing how YGQF plays this one out. It's not going to be a distinct line. You have a lot of flexes that are happening here, but they
So
need
much
to
gold.
stabilize the board right now.
Yeah, but we can look at their bench as well, and this to me is reading once again that Xayah guild angle. But it feels like Fly has such a worse position for it
Wow.
than Here We Go by a large margin.
Taking a really big risk here as well, just saying like, yeah, you know what? I'll just shrug it off. I'm looking for level 8 right here. I have a ton of gold to work with.
yeah, and he still has some HP to work with, right? Once again, a player that's very comfortable with playing greedy, using HP as a full resource, and just dashing that down before it comes to the goal. We are seeing some big upgrades all across the board. Beantum, who is on the Astrals, finds the Silas 3. We also saw Rain hit that Nomzi 2. A lot of 2 stars being unlocked. And I feel like slowly but surely we should be checking in with Brix, who miraculously has been win streaking until here.
It's a big loss that YGQF is taking here. We're getting to see the highlight of the Knife's Edge benefiting this Soyfen comp, as well as the Electric being able to just deliver damage to a melee line there. You cannot afford to keep taking hits that are in that sizable nature if you're at 32 HP. Down to 17, we're on 4-1.
Yeah, really dangerous game being played here by Fly as we see the final augments of the game coming out.
Better Together for Dasik is really, really big. He picks that up with the Dark Flight. That's going to be so good for him.
Here We Go just had the most blessed augment selection of all time. Gear upgrades, Thrill of the Hunt, and Press the Attack. So that was just insane choices. Ends up going for gear upgrades to pump up this guild Xayah even further.
I'm trying to look around and grasp everything. There's just so much going on. I loved getting this 8 vision angle here where it's just like, hey, by the way, there's 8 players here. There's a ton of chaos that's happening. It's impossible to scout every board and know what's going on right now. It gives you that feeling. Dasik with a Rengar 3?
Yeah.
It's 4-2.
Cool. Just casually popping up on that 3-star 3 cost. But you'll note, not going for the emblem build despite having an itemized Swain. The emblem is really strong in Swain builds, but a lot of players have been preferring the Zeeks when you don't rely on the Swain.
with the better together, that came handed to him, and it's just going to be so good for that kitty cat going for the extra damage. It's still missing items as of right now. He's going to hope that the dragon will deliver those, and he's not going to be able to find a win here, but this comp will be performing really well later on once he has the damage items on that Rengar to pull through.
Wow, the Dragon's Claw has to be highlighted here. I mean, this is a Sylas 3 you're fighting against, and you're still able to hold down this board, not just barely off of being able to pick this one up from Dasik. Sylas 3 on the other side of the board. We have a Rengar 3 early on. Like, this lobby, everyone's kind of hitting through and through. It's like, if this continues to happen, the players to the lower health, they're in super trouble. Why did QF down to 6?
Fly is about to die, just 6 HP left, does have the last stand. Nathan's favorite augment by far, but his position was not looking good for it last time we checked in on him.
It was all that gold. I mean, it feels like they hard committed to the level 8. You know, I respect that one, but that is some big flex that's taking place in a spot like that. You're like, yeah, I just want to activate this and start killing everybody.
Well, you have to
have
a strong board.
3-star Kai'Sa, 3-star Zac.
Alrighty then, calm down, Shunga. That's a very strong board. Not going for the blue buff, but has mana generation, GS, and the jeweled gauntlet on top of it. He's happy. Like you said, featherweight's Axiom Arc as well. This is a really strong position from him.
It feels like everyone's hitting in this lobby. Like,
oh, here's Fly. He does have a Soraka, and it will be just enough for him to proc that last stand, getting him knocked down. And now I'm really curious to see if that's going to go how you set, Nathan, or how I set, because I would love to be proven wrong on this one, honestly.
I would too, because, you know, it's just kind of a, you're getting the idea.
Yeah.
It's one less player for Rainplosion to have to fight for North America top 8. Now,
that is true.
Coming into this one, Bintum has been on a streak recently. Bricks, we were following earlier on, 4-1 full win streak, has finally been knocked down into that 73 HP spot, but hopefully this time he's in a better position than the previous games.
Plus, just look how beautiful your board gets, everyone.
Yeah, it is pretty, at the very least. It's a beautiful death, if nothing else.
Yeah, big transition is going to be coming into place here for Fly as well, and it's honestly it's a great angle to take for Xayah in this spot as well. Like, you have items that are set up well for this. The natural healing that you're going to get onto Xayah at this point, highlighted with the Rage Wing buff that's going to come into place. This is very strong to get into a line like this. Can they take advantage of it? 2-star Soraka could boost them back up as well, get them in a spot where they have 2 lives left.
Was really looking to find a Xayah 2 here is not going to come into place, and once that Rengar jumps onto her, she's not going to have anything to really survive here. I fear for Fly, as that is not going to be healthy feathers coming back. He is onto her, he is dicing her, and it is going to be the Idas that he gets stuck onto for now. This might be the turnaround, the Soraka holding the fort down for Fly, making sure this team does everything, and it's going to be the chunky div on the other side and making him survive here.
That is like low-key a Sunfire highlight.
Yes.
Where this Idas wouldn't have been doing anything, but instead it's just slowly burning down that Rengar that is missing those items. Despite the fact that you lost your primary damage, you're still able to hold it down because of how much sustain you get from Last Stand, from the Jace shields, from the Idas buffs, and from the Soraka 2 fully healing out your board.
Yeah, wins by sheer man and beef power.
Yep.
Remember as well, though, here, Fly is contested on this composition by Here We Go, who has been dedicated to it for far longer. So even if he is able to survive with this, it feels like it's going to be the biggest uphill battle possible. A single Xayah 1 is all he has against Shunga.
Yeah, and we're going to go into this one once again. Every game could be the last for Fly until that Soraka has healed him up to full. All eyes on the Kai'Sa in the enemy backline. Can she take down this Idas that looked so tanky in the previous round? Yes, she can. Soraka ult coming too late is not going to be enough, but the Xayah is still there. Can she take down the Kai'Sa before this is over? And Fly continues to win these ones out.
It's very slight, but again, this is the Xayah 2 diff that ultimately is coming into place. The champion duplicator on your bench, I like that they're foregoing the Rakan 2 in this spot, and now it's the Treasure Dragon. Nothing to write home about. This is pretty standard play, straightforward. You're pretty much highlighted on utility and frontline there from Fly spot.
I think for Fly, that matchup was a blessing. Kaisa does really well into frontline units, of which Fly had a ton, but has nothing for the backline. A Xayah 1 with no defensive options would die to a stiff breeze. But because there was nothing on Xunga's board that could even hit her, she was safe.
Wow. This board is stacked. Double Zeeks for a Guild Emblem Xayah and a full 2-star across the board.
Yeah, and that's the board that Fly is competing with, right? So we are on Here We Go's board. These are the two Xayah players so far not going into that Shyvana, very much on the guild angle as of right now. But Beantum, who has been doing really well, just found the Lux 3, which is going to be really, really big for this Astral comp.
This is very dangerous for the Xayah players as well, really emphasizing how important the positioning is going to be. A Jeweled Lotus with this Infinity Edge and an Archangels and a Shojin, this is a natural threat to Xayah.
The mana boards going together, and you can see the Lux on a bad angle to chew through this Kaisa, who has a lot of frontline to get through herself, but she will be plugging away. Zach continuing to heal up. Finally, Kaisa gets targeted. One more ult. She is down. The Lux is too. So the Zach 3 will be the last one standing, but not for long. Xunga will fall onto Fly's board. 1 health left, but the Xayah, finally 2-star, will save him one more round.
The last stand. It feels like a lot of last stands you're getting. I feel like it's pretty tough to call it last stand at this point. It's like last 15 stands is kind of what you're looking for.
It's sort of like when you're naming files on your computer and you're just like, version 1, final.
Yeah, for sure. So just take a look on the right side of the screen as we are seeing lobby totals. We have 3 players in the 10 HP range. Rainplosion, Dasik, and Fly are all around that corner. And then there is a little bit of a gap towards the rest of the lobby. So they're going to be looking to find these wins here. And it is going to be Dasik against Rain. This could end really, really fatal for either one. You see the Rengar on to the Lux, the Rengar on to the Heimerdinger. He is going to move on over to that Nomsy, take that one out. And the Lilia has not been found, is not going to be the carry for Rain, and that just looks devastating if you're a fan of Rain as we are.
Yeah.
Silas plugging away as best he can, but unstoppable Swain and Rengar in the midfield just gonna rip through him, and that will be it for Rainplosion.
Tough spot there. Positioning is just, it's close to everything in a fight like that. The board wasn't strong enough for Rainplosion. We saw her have to go to 8 to try to supplement the board strength. Not even close to the line to find that Nomsy 3, where time is going to be everything. All you're trying to do with that Nomsy is cast a bunch. So you're in the right spot for it, but the matchups, not the right kind of matchups you're looking for.
I'm really worried for Dasik now because he was pretty lucky with meeting Rain here, who was arguably for him the weakest player he could have faced in this lobby. I know that Rengar is now doing some damage, and if he gets down that Xayah, it could just be enough, but we saw this one play out differently before.
Yeah, you can see here, Xayah not going to be the main target. Hecarim, great ult onto the backline, going to be able to save his carry. And one more hop here from Rengar will secure the kill onto the Xayah. He escapes for the time being onto the Soraka, who lives. The deadly bananas flying hard and fast. And Swain, the only one left standing, the only hope in the way of Dasik taking another loss.
A little bit of magic shred there. And I just kind of chilling in the corner right now. The Sunfire, though, that's the big difference there. Dasik going to take a hit. Not out of it just yet, but it's a tough matchup. The last stand there just kind of proving to be everything from the other side of the board. Just that little extra sustain, that little bit of extra time, a fatal style of loss that's coming in.
Yeah, I have to admit, Fly is playing this one out pretty nicely. The Soraka doing her best job at healing him back up into contention of everyone else in this lobby. And you can see that they're all moving closer. We have 4 players in the range of 38 to 20, and then Fly with 16 and Dasik with 6, who is the one that needs to now do everything to get out of here, has found that Guardian emblem to maybe beef up the board just a little bit, but will it be enough? While Kanda finally finds that Pantheon too.
Hey, we're checking out Brix's board. He went for the Soyfen build, incredibly popular top 4 build coming out of his win streak, and he's in the top 4 in health.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have Konda on that exact same comp, so he is going to be a little bit in competition with him. Both of these players have the Soyfen built out, but really it is going to be about Dasik, whether or not he can clutch this one out. He didn't find the Swain, but he has found the Guardian Emblem to make that Darkflight Essence, and maybe that's just what he needed.
Watch the Lux in the back. One ultimate, not able to hit the Rengar, finally does, and that is going to spell the end for Day6 carry. 2 more ultimates from Lux, and this should spell the end of Day6 game number 2. The previous game also did not go great for him. One of our EMEA best has an uphill battle left for him today.
It's just a tough spot to be in. You know, it's matchups that are just not looking super favorable. Again, almost everyone was connecting in this lobby, and the inherent benefit of the Rengar composition is to punish the players who are not there yet.
Fly taking a loss here is a big deal. So we thought he was over the worst part, but turns out he has found another loss. Did find the Shyvana as well, so that's going to be some upgrade here coming through. But of course, it's only Shyvana 1, and he would very much like her to be Shyvana 2, and that's going to be so hard to do. Does take out the Soraka here in order to be able to do something else, and will slam some tank items onto that Shyvana, hoping that the Zephyr hits what it's supposed to hit.
This does feel like a slightly questionable call. It feels like you kind of weakened your board to get the 6 Rage Wing benefit. We're going to find out if it's strong enough here, but that Kaisa is a very powerful unit right now. Shyvana hopping into the air. This is a tank feature Shyvana, so not the greatest one to be in right now. But I will say that Xayah is looking in a fantastic spot for this. The Feather Shred coming through. Shyvana is still alive. We're still seeing a Jace pour through. It's just absolutely not enough to get through this one. Great positioning here from YGQF, and a great call. 6 Rage Wing.
Here we go. Goes down, though.
Yeah, the only person in the lobby contesting Fly on this composition. The addition, the loss of Soraka here, the lack of her presence means that this is the last 3 HP that Fly will have. He saved himself 1 loss already, and now a Shojin, not exactly what he needs, but might help out with that Hecarim. I do want to point out, Nathan, to your point, tank Shyvana, not always the best, but with the benefit of Shapeshifter, it was just enough to edge her out over the Idis that he would have had otherwise.
It's just great calls here from YGQF. Every way you slice it, Fly has just been having fantastic calls throughout their game. Yeah. We're going to see if it can work out now. They're in position to make it to a level 9. You just need a couple more rounds.
Yeah, but are you going to get those couple more rounds is going to be the question here. We have him redo that Zephyr to make sure he can slam it last second. The last one was devastating. He just hit a Karma with it. That was not what we were going for. Really wanted the Kaisa there, but was out-positioned. And he is playing really greedy right now. 9 seconds left, is not rolling, is trusting in this comp and the ability to win one more out. It is going to be Brix or a Beantum that he meets up with, the 2 top health players, and here he is, Beantum with that Lux coming for him in perfect position for those Zephyrs.
Fly's last stand __3 final is coming out now. The Shyvana flies into the front line. It's the Xayah uncontested in the back. One more ult from Lux would do it, but she gets stunned up as Xayah fires the feathers away. The Lux will fall, and Fly lives once more.
It's once again great positioning there. The call to item remover and find that little bit of cheese to ensure that you get that Lux up into the air, and then again putting it on the 3rd row to avoid any buildup so that the Zyra line did not stun. Fly is making absolutely great calls in the fights.
But where do you roll? Do you just keep on trusting? There we go. Level 9 being unlocked by Fly, giving him a little bit of the edge over the other players who are still on that level 8, being able to slot in everything that he wants to now.
And this is a big one here. Do you go for another Mystic, or do you go for the second Rim? Do you want the potential for an extra stun with a little bit extra front line, or is the Mystic going to be the difference? They're going to say, you know what, I'm going with Hecarim in this one. The Zephyr positioning not working out, and this is potentially a dangerous spot for this Xayah right now.
Yeah, the Zephyr was just baited in the wrong direction once more, lift something up that was not going to be the one he needed. The Xayah is on to these carries, but can she take them down onto the Jace? Jace still survives, but the Dragons have been mostly eliminated. It is only the Siphon. He's gonna charge, finds the Xayah, takes her out, and I don't think the Shyvana has what it takes. Fly finds an end here and goes out fifth.
Bintum taking a loss as well. We now have our top 4 in an incredibly tight lobby. Fly's Ghost losing to Conda, our Brazilian lobby leader.
It's looking pretty strong. I mean, we've been seeing the Soifin competitions just slightly be above the average, just right above that top 4 spot. And considering how highly contested we saw it yesterday, I found it a bit surprising that it was doing so strong. As we get a glimpse at our top 4 players, I love being able to see this because those last-second movements, where all the units start to scatter around the board, you start to see how much they value the positioning.
How much they value their gold as well. We can see that Kana and Shungo are just holding on to this 50 gold while the other 2 players were really rolling, and it's going to be Kanda against Bintum here, who could die.
Yeah, Bintum's backline is safe for the time being, but you've got to watch that charge from Siphon. Will go wide. The Lux is alive for now. 1 ult, 2 ult, no red ult, no blue ult, but it will be a round win for Bintum, who survives once more.
Conda here, saving up that gold, level 9 is going to be the big benefit for this one. It's how you're going to fit it in and what you're going to take advantage of. But we have now closed this lobby in 15-9 on a 1st to 4th right now. It is packed to the brim. Any player, I think, technically has a chance for that 1st place here. It's going to be matchups. It's going to be positioning. That's what they're going to be focused on.
Yeah, and they are picking up some additional upgrades. We see Shungo going last pick for that additional Sunfire. Just get some tankiness, just get some extra overtime damage in this composition. And Brix, with that Bard on the bench, is he going to make it to level 9? Gold says no, so really, he is the one that's in disadvantage here against the level 9 boards.
2 as well, Soifin players in the lobby at the moment in our top 4. Nathan, you were saying how strongly this composition performs, and I think we are seeing the answer in motion.
Yeah, it's pretty close in a lot of these positions right here. This matchup, not the spot that you're looking for here. This is a tough Silas that you're going to fight through, and this Lux, again, in a very safe spot to just shred through the board.
Yeah, someone is going to die here, and we're watching, finding out who that is going to be. The Lux uncontested, untouched. In the top right corner, she just keeps shooting out these ults. Nothing is going to come her way, and she's going to take out Brix here. Will Kanda meet the same fate as Shungo's Kaisa is onto him, taking out the entire board and eliminating him as well. He goes 3rd, and Brix goes 4th.
Down to our final 1v1 here. It's Bintum versus Shunga for the final round of game number 2.
A little bit of positioning change due to the lockets onto that Vladimir here. A lot of this, I think, is going to boil down to where this Kaisa lands, and if it's in a spot where it can avoid these Lux hits. If that's going to happen, you're in deep trouble.
Shungo still has gold to roll and says, no, that's not what I'm going to do right now, is so confident in this composition here that he's going to take down Bintum, that he just holds on to it, and we see how that one plays out.
The Lux that has taken Bintum all the way to the final round remains uncontested in the back. But watch the Kaisa firing away and getting fired at. The Lux will take her down. And after a long-fought game, Korea's Bintum will reign supreme in round 7 of the Dragonlance Championship.
Just a great recognition from Bintum to realize, hey, I'm supposed to re-roll Lux in this position, and gets the major benefit of finding